loved what the panel was talking about, the previous panel about data, because I think sometimes when you work for a mission or you work for an organization, there's this feeling like, well, we don't really have to produce data because we're helping people, right? And I've always been the kind of person who feels that actually you have to work harder and produce data, because the fact is you have to make the case, not just with the stories, and the stories are very compelling, but you have to have quantifiable data about the impact of your program. And I know for Women, we have very key metrics, and we have a monitoring and evaluation team, and we monitor those teams because we collect baseline and exit data and graduate follow-on data for every single woman who goes through our program. And this other piece about scale, this program is great, but if you think about the fact that we graduate 35 or 40,000 women from 8 countries in a given year, 1,000 women here or 2,000 women there is just that. And so we need to take all these great ideas from Women and all the other players doing all the great work, and we need to think about scaling those up to much larger, because that's really when we're going to see innovation and change at a much higher level. And I think that's the case that needs to be made as a next step. I think this would be specifically like about the sponsor community and how just by virtue of sponsoring the women in these countries, how they have themselves become advocates for survivors of war and their stories. A lot of those sponsors, and frankly over the 18 years, is about 250,000 of them who have become a force of their own in terms of raising additional awareness in their families and communities about what it means to be a survivor of war, and related causes that have to do with domestic or sexual-based violence, how much we spend on foreign assistance and development aid, the value proposition of investing in women and girls. All those related issues come to the fore through these sponsors. And I think they're in some ways an untapped potential, really, to be able to take it to the next level in terms of more formalized advocacy around these important issues. And if you think about all those women, all these sponsors from all the countries and all the states here, you have quite a network that could be mobilized to advance the goals that we're talking about here.
In terms of the recipients, and I'm sure you've witnessed this so many times, where you see a woman's life be touched because she receives not only the equivalent of 30 or 25 US dollars every month while she's in the program, but she receives that letter and maybe that photograph, and that somehow that unlocks something in her that then she's able to become a role model or community leader.
That's right. So the other side of that is really the women themselves, and we have served probably over 300,000 women survivors of war in the 8 different countries, and we like to say that that has had an impact on 1.7 million family members, because if you think of the fact that how these women are investing their money, and the fact is each and every one of those women is an agent of change. And if you look at our pyramid in terms of our program vision, we have lasting change for women and their families on the bottom, and as we move up, we have women-led community change, because what happens is these women who are part of social networks who have gone through the program together are driving change at the community level, and that ripple effect, that which is the whole basis of this conference, that is going out into these different communities and villages where these women are active. And finally, at the top of the pyramid are peaceful and stable communities and societies, because these women are, by virtue of driving change, by virtue of them being networked together and having an income and sending their kids to school, they are in turn creating more peaceful and stable societies and communities. One of the things that we say at Women for Women is one woman can change many things, but many women can change everything. And I think that we really are at this critical point in history for women and girls. We also say we need a few good men, so you're a good man. But just that we have a unique opportunity here to push the dialogue, and not just dialogue, but action forward in terms of public-private engagement, getting governments involved, raising the level of dialogue, using data to bring more people along in terms of the value proposition of investing in women and girls, not just because it feels good, because it is good. and it happens to be the right thing to do. But more than that, it's going to be great for the societies and the economies, and that all of us are agents of change. I mean, we talk about women survivors of war being agents of change, and I loved your example. And we have examples of women in Afghanistan on the street for the very first time on International Women's Day, when it could have gone very, very bad for them, out there protesting for their rights, protesting for peace, protesting for change, because they're putting it all on the line. And I think we need to put it on the line, and we're not going to move it forward unless we're united, engaged, and innovative. And that's really where we need to go. And let's meet there. Let's do this.